I'm Tracy with MeetRx. I'm a MeetRx coach, and today we're continuing with our success podcast. We have Coach Andy here with us to tell us all about his success story. Hi, Andy.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. So can you begin by telling me what your health was like and your diet was like before you came to a meat-based diet?
Yeah, absolutely. Growing up, I thought I was eating the right foods, getting advice from the government, and eventually getting involved with a little vegetarianism. And then I tried vegan for 2 weeks, and that really sucked. and
Oh,
then, uh, and then, let's see, probably late 20s, early 30s, it started to, or I started to eat a lot of, or do a lot of vegetables and smoothies. I was living in Los Angeles, going to the health food stores, thinking that I was healthy. And what I've slowly but surely come to find out that that really wasn't the case.
Oh, okay. I understand that. Did you do like green juices and all kinds of smoothies? Huh?
Oh yeah, it was green juices pretty much every morning. I would go to Trader Joe's and get a bag of spinach, mix that with some blueberries, some water, maybe some protein powder, maybe some whatever, and I'd have the Vitamix, and I would probably fill that Vitamix and just drink that all morning. So it was just nothing but probably oxalates and all the stuff.
Right, right. I did the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what kind of health conditions did you have?
Well, it's crazy because it was kind of like a frog in boiling water. I didn't know I was getting so unhealthy, and the symptoms I was experiencing was a lot of anxiety, and that was coupled with a high stress job that I had for 10 years. And so it was the combination of the so-called healthy diet with a job, and then all the anxiety started to really take, it gave me a bad a bad lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing a lot of traveling and the partying and drinking, and that stuff didn't help. So waking up in the morning with my hands kind of shaking because I wasn't able to sleep, and just the amount of anxiety. So that was it. And then the energy drain, I wasn't able to maintain energy throughout the day. I would be okay in the morning because my cortisol levels were so high, but then I would just dive bomb in the afternoon and not be able to function. And then the brain fog, oh man, the brain fog was horrible.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. So I don't know if there was other health conditions, but also how did you hear about the carnivore diet?
Yeah, well, I think in 2016, I started working. Yeah, it was 2016 after I had a surgery on my shoulder. I started working with a functional medicine doctor because I felt like I'd hit rock bottom. I needed to do something. And so my brother and my dad recommended me this guy, and he got me started on paleo. And it turns out I did a stool test, and I had parasites, and I had giardia, and then I had a thyroid issue, and then I also had something else. I don't know. I had something else. Anyways, paleo diet, started getting better, eliminated sugar, did that for 2 years. And then 2018, my younger brother was like, hey, dude, you should look at this carnivore diet. And I immediately had that knee-jerk reaction where I was like, you got to be kidding me. All meat? That makes no sense. And I was like, what's up with the constipation and fiber and, everything that we were taught? I was like, it's just, it doesn't make sense. And so he's like, listen to this podcast with Joe Rogan and Dr. Sean Baker. I did that. And I was like, all right, that makes sense. So I'm going to try it. And then I did. And that's when I really started to see improvements in my energy, and my brain fog really started to go away. And I was able to maintain energy throughout the day.
Wow. So how did you start out? Did you just start eating steaks, or did you go gradually into it?
Oh, I went cold turkey. I just went right for it. I started piling up the ground beef, got some steaks. I just went for it. I was like, I'm gonna give it a try for a few weeks, and then a few weeks started to turn into a few months, and that's kind of how how it went. And I was listening to Dr. Sean Baker's YouTube videos pretty consistently, so that kind of kept me in the groove. Of course, I had my own concerns. I'm like, is this right or is it not right? You know, because your ego tells you, because we've been conditioned, like maybe this isn't right. Maybe you're actually hurting yourself. So, but you just stay with it, you know?
Right. And listening to a doctor talk about it, several doctors talk about it, and that kind of gives you comfort. Did you have any symptoms the first couple of weeks, or did you feel pretty good the first month
No,
even?
I actually felt pretty good because I think I had weaned off a lot of the sugar problems, you know, just working with the functional medicine doctor, going paleo and doing a little bit of keto.
Uh-huh.
And then slowly over time, I think my body was kind of already prepared for carnivore. Because I do know there's a lot of people, I talk to people that are on it and they do get those keto or carnivore flu symptoms, but I didn't really get them.
Oh, that's good. You're young, so that's cool.
Yeah.
You look really young anyway.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I know how that is. I mean, I think a lot of times carnivores look so much younger than they really are, but you look like you're in your 20s, so.
Oh, good, because I'm 41.
Okay, you're looking good then. So, you started out and you did good. You didn't have any troubles. I can understand that. Keto kind of prepares you and your other diet that you were on. So are you going to stick with carnivore now, do you think?
Yeah. I don't see why not. I've had such good success, and my mind is so much more clear, and like I was saying before, the energy levels are way more consistent. So it helps me with a lot of the creative stuff that I do as well, aside from the coaching. So right now it's kind of like a biohack, but not really. It's just a diet, you know, and I don't see why not. I mean, of course, here and there, I'll throw in some sweet potato every once in a while. Like I'm visiting my mom right now, and she made shepherd's pie. I had some. I didn't have any problem. So I'm probably 99% carnivore.
Mhm. Okay, cool. Did your brother that introduced you or whatever to it, did he start doing carnivore with you or anyone else in your family?
No, not yet. I keep telling them you got to try it. They're pretty much on an ancestral diet. My brother and his girlfriend, they have like their YouTube channels and everything, and we actually all co-op and buy a half cow. So their meat levels are probably 80-20,
Mhm.
and they still like to garden and do, you know, they have a little garden in the back and get their vegetables and fruits.
Okay. So you cleared up all your anxiety and brain fog and stuff? And
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm perfect, but compared to where I was and where I'm at now is a big difference. I feel like there's always improvement. Uh, I do the meditation. I do a lot of Wim Hof style breathing, and sometimes a cold immersion therapy. So yeah, there's, you know, everything coupled in with diet seems to play a big role on keeping me going. And I know with a lot of, and for a lot of other people too.
Mhm. Do you do other exercises or anything to help you sleep, or is there anything that you do otherwise health-wise besides carnivore?
Yeah, I do. Right now, I do the X3 bands. I'm not sure if you're familiar with those.
Yes, I've heard of those. Mhm.
Okay, yeah, I've been doing those for 7 months, and I've already gained, because I'm like the ectomorph, I think ectomorph body, so I'm like skinny. I used to be skinny fat, and I went to Colombia and I lost too much weight. I came back, I was 143, and then I weighed myself the other day and I'm 160. So the combination of increasing my protein and meat intake to over 2 pounds a day and the X3 bars, I was able to get my weight back up.
Awesome. Okay, I know we have a discount for those X3 bars on MeatRx, so
Oh yeah, if anybody out there is considering those, I highly recommend them. It's literally the easiest work. I mean, it's not an easy workout, but it's a 10 to 15 minute workout. And if you're like me, where time is hard to come by, then I totally recommend it.
cool. So is it so it's the bands, right? And and they're on a bar and it's just like a strength kind of training.
Yeah, exactly. It's these bands, and there's some science behind it. The doctor that created it, I don't know, starts with a J. Anyways, there's studies, and it's just the most optimal way to do workouts, so that you're not spending an hour in the gym and you're not overdoing it. Because I know there's a lot of people out there that are in the CrossFit community that sometimes overdo it, and that can mess with their cortisol levels and put their body in harm. So for me, this works. Probably works for other people too.
Oh yeah, cool.
Oh, and the other thing that I do is I do supplement with electrolytes. I do keep I do 2 tablespoons of the natural calm every day, and I try to do 5 to 10 grams of the Redmond sea salt, and sometimes some potassium if I've been sweating a lot. So
Okay, so does that help you sleep too, the calm and?
I think so. I think so. I mean, my sleep has gotten so much better. I still wake up about one time, once in the, yeah, one time, once a night. Yeah. Sometimes I'll sleep all the way through, but if I can do that, then I know that's awesome sleep. But yeah, it's better than waking up 2 or 3 times and then not being able to fall back to sleep. So I'll take that.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so now I know you're a coach on Meet RX, and we usually ask every coach what their coaching strategy is. Do you have a coaching strategy?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I've been coached throughout my life, and I've had really good coaches, and I like to learn from the good coaches and from the bad coaches. And for me, I think if the coach is enthusiastic and understands the goals that are in front of that person, then that's going to make it that much easier to attain them. So that's the approach that I take. I like to bring the good energy, the good vibes, the motivation, and also keep it real. You know, if there's something we want to achieve, we got to do it. So that's kind of how I do the coaching.
Oh, okay. So do you coach other people near you or like your family at all? Have you ever converted a friend or anyone?
Yeah, actually, it's funny you mentioned that because I'm visiting my family in Colorado, and I have a high school friend, and he's through his whole life he's had celiac disease, and he's tried so much stuff, and he keeps suffering. So right now I got him at about a 90-10, so 90% carnivore, and I think I'm gonna get him over the edge to just really dive deep in and see if it helps.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. I love hearing success stories, and I'm sure he could be another one if he started up Carnivore and everything. So
Yeah, yeah, I hope so. And I've pointed him in the right direction, and yeah, we'll see.
so what's your typical day look like in eating?
In eating, so I usually do 2 meals a day right now, and they're larger meals. I'll skip breakfast. The only thing okay, I do drink coffee in the morning, and I would like to get off that eventually, but it's so hard. It's my addictive pleasure.
Do you
And
do you drink it with cream? Heavy whipping
yeah,
cream?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll put some butter in. I'll do sometimes cream. If I have raw cream, it's just really expensive because I love the raw cream, but I go through it so fast, and it's like 12.99 for 16 ounces, at least in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So until I find a better, more affordable source.
Yeah, that's the raw. That's a good kind. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I just load it with butter. And then my meals are usually, I try to hit that 2 pound mark every day. Lots of ground beef. I try to get the fattier 70-30. Sometimes it's 80-20. I'll source it from the local ranchers from Regenerative Farms. There's some out in Bakersfield that we buy. Sometimes we'll get a hog. We just got a Berkshire hog. And then, yeah, that's kind of how I do it.
Cool. So do you include much dairy besides the cream or?
Yeah, because I was trying to gain weight, I added dairy back in, and I haven't had problems so far. I think it kind of gives you pimples every once in a while. So I did get a pimple the other day, and I was like, oh, maybe that's the dairy. But I'll do the raw milk and some cheese, and then I started a carnivore cooking YouTube channel. So I'm constantly trying to look for new recipes and try them out and put them on that channel. And so far, some of them have had a lot of dairy. Like I made this Alfredo sauce, which is amazing, and and I add that to the steak or whatever meat, and it's so tasty.
Oh, that sounds cool. I made up some liver, bacon, and suet pate today.
Oh,
It is
amazing.
good.
Oh.
Have you ever
So
tried that? Bacon and liver pate?
I've never done it with bacon. I've done liver pate, just,
Mhm.
I guess the regular way, but tell me about this bacon. How do you do this?
Oh, I learned from Coach Becky, and she just fries up bacon and liver, but not too, well done or anything. And she adds fat to it. And I mean, you mix it all up in a blender, and oh my goodness, it's so good. Because the bacon, the bacon
Yeah.
makes it delicious. So it's a cool recipe. Yeah, you should try that.
Okay, that's going to be on my list of recipes. I love it.
Cool. Well, thank you, Andy, so much for sharing your story. If someone was going to start carnivore, what would be your biggest encouragement?
Oh, just go for it, and keep either go to the World Carnivore Tribe, get a coach, get somebody that knows what they're talking about, that's going to encourage you. And if it's difficult, there's always somebody there to help you through it. That's what I would say.
Awesome. So they can look you up on MeatRx also. You're a coach there, and you've been a coach for quite a while. I mean, not a coach for, you probably have been a coach for a little while, but you've been a carnivore for a long time. And so that
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
got a
Since
lot to share.
2018, been a carnivore, and then I've only been a coach for a few weeks now. Yeah, a few weeks now. So yeah, definitely a newbie coach looking to work with some people and bring some enthusiasm to the table.
Oh yeah, new coach, but seasoned carnivore. So
Yeah,
you've got a lot
exactly.
to share. Great. I have a passion for it, so that's why I do what I do. I know you probably do too.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Andy, and I'll see you around MeatRx.
All right, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye.